Hello and welcome back once again to the Wrestling Group. I'm your host for this video, Ryan, and today we are going to be taking a look at the top 5 greatest opponents of John Cena's career. That's right, the time has come for us to say goodbye to John Cena's in-ring career tonight when he faces Gunther at Saturday night's main event in his retirement match. So what's a better time than to take a look back on the 5 greatest opponents of his career than now? As always, let us know your top 5 in the comment section below, and if you haven't already, please do like this video and leave us a comment, but most importantly, don't forget to hit that subscribe button now. So we'll start in at number 5, and we have Brock Lesnar. The Beast Incarnate is one of the very few superstars to have a positive overall result count against Cena. Lesnar has 5 victories to Cena's 2. They faced each other in 2003 with their first pay-per-view singles match against each other coming at the Backlash pay-per-view, in which Lesnar defeated Cena to retain the WWE Championship. Lesnar was already ahead of Cena in the pecking order back then, and it would take Cena another 2 years for him to become WWE Champion for the very first time. Their rivalry, though, really took off upon Lesnar's return to the WWE in 2012, when he targeted Cena and they faced off in a great match, probably my favourite of their rivalry, the Extreme Rules match, with Cena this time picking up the victory. After Lesnar dominated John Cena in a shocking match at SummerSlam 2014, Cena would get his revenge at the Clash of Champions pay-per-view, regaining the WWE Championship. Lesnar and Cena would mix up a few more times, the last one being at WrestlePalooza this year, with Lesnar once again showing his dominance to end their rivalry. So in at number 4, AJ Styles. Considered by many as a dream matchup for the years beforehand, when Styles debuted in the WWE in 2016, he was considered as the best wrestler in the world for the previous 2 years. John Cena was the best that WWE had to offer at that time. The trilogy that followed is some of not only Cena's best matches of his career, but arguably 3 of the best in WWE history. This rivalry lasted only a year, and that's why it came in 4th and not higher up our list. The crowd was so torn during their first encounter, with "Let's Go Cena" and "Let's Go Styles" chants ringing throughout the arena. Considered originally by WWE Chairman Vince McMahon as a mid-carder, it was a shock to many when Styles actually picked up the victory in their first match at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. WWE then quickly realised that Styles was destined for greatness. Styles and Cena would clash again at SummerSlam in 2016, with the Phenomenal One picking up the victory again before they would then face off one more time at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view in 2017, with Cena picking up the victory this time and his 16th WWE Championship, which at the time would tie him as the most with Ric Flair. Styles and Cena also faced off in other matches, like Triple Threat match that also featured Dean Ambrose, in an Elimination Chamber where they both started against each other, and a 6-pack challenge. But it's the original trilogy that solidifies Styles as one of Cena's greatest ever opponents. They faced one last time earlier this year, putting on a spectacle where both guys paid tribute to each other and some of the absolute greats of their wrestling careers. So in at number 3 is CM Punk. Now, Cena and Punk have mixed it up for a while, including when Punk was the leader of the New Nexus in 2010. But it's from 2011 that everyone thinks of this rivalry as one of the greatest of Cena's career, and possibly in the WWE as a whole. CM Punk defeated Rey Mysterio and Alberto Del Rio to become the number 1 contender to the WWE Championship. A week later, Punk drops the legendary pipe bomb promo, blurring the lines between reality and scripted. During the promo, he blasted Cena before revealing that his WWE contract was in fact set to expire at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Punk wanted to win the title in his home state and leave the company as champion. The Money in the Bank pay-per-view match is considered by many as the best in this rivalry. The crowd was so hot it was deafening at times. They were all behind their rebel hero. The false finishes kept fans gripped before Punk would pick up the victory, the title, and hop over the barricade, blowing a kiss to Cena and McMahon before running through the crowd in an unforgettable moment. They would face again upon Punk's return to the company. Yes, this one was actually storyline based and not just him spitting his dummy out. And a few times after, in the build-up to Rock vs Cena at WrestleMania 29, before Punk would actually leave the company for good this time. Well, that was until, of course, he returned not too long ago. This year, they faced off one last time during Cena's retirement tour, with Cena once again picking up the victory to close this chapter of his career. So in at number 2 is Edge. The rated R superstar just misses out on being John Cena's greatest ever opponent, coming in second place. But that's not bad though, considering this was never meant to become much other than a shock factor of Edge cashing in the Money in the Bank contract to become WWE champion, which they would then quickly take back off him before Edge would become undeniable as a top WWE superstar. This was the main rivalry in WWE from 2006 to 2009. In my opinion, this was during my teenage years, and I'd started to get a little bit bored of Cena. I had my guy, Randy Orton, keeping me interested in all things SmackDown as I started to turn more towards the heels and the villains of the wrestling world. So I needed someone to keep me interested in Raw, and John Cena obviously was keeping all things babyface there, but up steps the rated R superstar, and this rivalry definitely kept me tuned into Raw for those 3 years. Some of Cena's greatest matches came against Edge. The TLC match definitely comes to mind. Their last match in the rivalry, when Edge defeated Cena to become World Heavyweight Champion in a last man standing match at Backlash 2009, is another that stands out to me. This rivalry was defined by Edge's ultimate opportunist persona and played well into Cena's resilience. So that only leaves us with one. Who could it be? Well, of course, it is the Viper, Randy Orton. It could only really be one guy when you talk about the greatest opponents of John Cena's career. You could see early on that this was what they wanted to do. They wanted to have these two guys go against each other and become one of the greatest rivalries in the history of the company, and they would not disappoint whenever they did get a chance to mix it up in the ring. Both guys obviously started out at the same time in OVW and would both then debut on SmackDown during the year of 2002. Cena had become the babyface of the company in 2005, but it would take Orton just a little while longer to be considered as the top heel in WWE. Cena and Orton had some solid matches in 2007 and 2008, but it was 2009 where it really took off and became one of the best and brutal rivalries in WWE's history. Orton picking up the victory in an I Quit match and Cena in an Iron Man match are just two of the greatest matches these two had against each other. We saw the rivalry become very personal at times, especially when Orton Punk kicked Cena's father in the head. But for the most part, it was about being who was the greatest and that WWE Championship. Now I'll skip over a few years, and in 2013 we had, in my mind, one of the best matches between the pair, and one I find is massively underrated. It's the TLC match to unify the WWE and the world titles, which Orton would win. They faced a few more times over the years after they faced for the very last time earlier this year during obviously John Cena's farewell tour at the Backlash pay-per-view, which Cena would win, bringing an end to, in my opinion, the greatest rivalry of his career. So there you have it. That is the top 5 greatest opponents of John Cena's career. Now, do you agree with my picks? Let me know in the comment section below, and be sure to like this video, and of course, the most important one, subscribe to the wrestling group today.